I'm going to tell you the best joke ever, Jack.
Brilliant.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, what's the difference between a good joke and a bad joke timing?
That was shit.
I thought that was a great joke, Jack.
That was crap.
What do you mean it was crap?
That was dreadful.
It was the best joke I've ever...
Do you know what else is crap?
Go on.
The Titanic.
Whoa.
Oh!
Why did you say that? Well, the film or the actual boat?
The whole thing.
The boat actually sank, so...
No, it didn't!
Oh.
And that's what this
Is that
episode
what we're talking
is
about?
Welcome to Not So Real!
Welcome to Not So Real.
My name is Jack, this is...
Lee.
And he sits opposite me and we chat film.
I do.
That's it.
I do sit opposite you and we do chat film. Wow.
And we have got today in the studio cameras
Whoa.
and lights. Which if you're watching the video now, right? If you're watching the video, there's massive bright white lights here, and they are really hurting our eyes. But it's for your benefit.
Honestly, it's like the sun
has entered into the room.
It is so bright. Like I literally.
You look like me, pale. That's what this is what I look like in sunlight. It's great, isn't it?
Need some suntan lotion.
It's getting
put it on.
It's getting a bit warm, isn't it?
Beds, you know, like just laying down.
So if you're a massive movie fan, you love films, you love everything about them, every kind of conversation, this podcast is completely 100% for you. And today, if you may have realised, we're chatting the Titanic and why the film shouldn't be called the fucking Titanic.
Yeah, Jack's got some little theories, haven't you?
Right, I've been researching this for about, in total, 2 hours.
Bloody hell, you're right.
That was just before the podcast.
That's probably more time than the Titanic sank.
Potentially, yeah. I've spent more time researching the actual sinkage than the sinkage itself. That's how dedicated I am.
Sorry.
First of all, good film, right? It's a really good film. James Cameron again.
Wait, there's a film about the Titanic,
mate. Just like
there's a film.
Just eject yourself from the podcast sometimes.
No, there can't be a film. About the Titanic.
I understand it's sarcasm, but somebody out there has gone. What do you mean he hasn't got a clue?
Right. There's no way. There's no way people can't say that they haven't seen the film. Like it's iconic.
Have you seen the film?
Of course I have.
How many times?
Well, I haven't sat there with a pen and pad and wrote down
more than
times,
5.
But yeah, probably.
I've seen it once. That's it.
Really?
I've only seen it once.
Yeah, but young Leo.
It's sad.
Young Leo DiCaprio is just, you know.
He's a good-looking little guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know that's not his actual name, but that's my nickname for him.
But
so.
he is. Do you know what upsets me about him?
He's pretty sexy as well.
He's not. I mean, now not so much. I don't think.
No, I still think he's
unpopular
got that
opinion.
Oh, okay.
I don't think now he's not attractive. Women love him, and some men. I'm gonna go with some men. I wouldn't say a lot of men, but I'd go with women are his primary target under 40.
No, you're not wrong. Like, are you? Like,
I mean, there's a whole news article on the age of his women.
He literally dated somebody who like turned 30 and then didn't he dump her?
He was like, "Get off my yacht, leave." He's sitting there like 29,
Leo,
29,
Leo,
29.
it's my birthday. How old are you? I'm 30. Get off the fucking boat now.
He doesn't even know that gift card exists.
He's got like a birthday card and it just says 30 with an X on it. You've been eliminated.
When the Titanic becomes overboard.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
So look, right, I've found the theory of what I believe to be true. The Titanic never sank. Questions.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's the podcast. You can go home now.
That's it. Thanks for watching. Not so. No.
Have a great night.
So, what do you mean by it didn't sank?
Right.
Give me why.
I've got a whole spiel here on what happened. You've seen the film in 1912.
It's a film.
It's a film.
Oh.
Go and watch the film.
Sorry, go on.
So the luxury cruise liner known as RMS Titanic shipped off on its maiden voyage. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's the maiden voyage.
The maiden?
Yeah, the maiden voyage.
They have many maidens.
No, it means the first.
There.
It's the first. It's almost like its virginity voyage. The ship's a virgin. Then when it gets in the sea,
why don't they just call it a virgin voyage?
That would sound so much better.
It's double V, right? They can call it VV, Virgin Voyage.
Oh, that's good.
That's a bit tongue twistery though. Actually.
The Virgin Voyage.
Welcome to the Virgin Voyage.
Sounds a bit sexual as well down the hallway. Do you walk into your room, you're like, welcome to the Virgin Voyage. You're like, what part of the boat is this?
Well, basically, this is the Virgin Voyage. We got the Horror Voyage over there, right? It's just over there, you know. Yeah, I don't know if we want that fucking sort of boat. Anyway.
On April 10th in 1912, it had its maiden voyage. And it sailed for several days, right, before striking an iceberg in the middle of Newfoundland. Okay, that's where it was.
Okay, cool.
The sinking of the ship lost about 1,500 passengers, including Jack, who died, even though there was space on that bit of wood, right? No. There definitely was room on that door, but he died and she did not. The news story caused outrage, and there was like new ocean safety guidance that were made. And this is where it goes a little bit weird. Are you ready? Prepare yourself.
I am so ready. I couldn't be more ready.
There's researchers that spend their lives researching the Titanic.
Okay.
And they have been on this...
All right.
It's a little bit sad. It is a film. It's a film.
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, sure.
And so what they've done for their whole lives is try and discover why it sank, because it shouldn't have sank. It was made to be like this huge, massive ship that was pretty much indestructible and would sail for forever. The Titanic wasn't its actual class of ship, so every ship has like a model.
Okay.
It was an Olympic ship. It's called the Olympic class, and there was a few of them before the Titanic was made. And they had obviously tested these ships. So you had a few, let's call them prototype ones that were sailing.
Yeah.
And then the last ones was the Titanic. So anything that was wrong with the ship, like the hull that broke, and that's why it sank, would have been tested.
Sorry, sank.
Everything that had gone wrong would have been tested and looked at, and so all of the potential risks had been covered up, and it was made to be safe. JP Morgan owned two ships.
Okay.
One was called the Olympic, which was an Olympic. The other was a Titanic, which was also an Olympic. And both of these boats are nearly identical. Okay. And at the time, the actual Olympic had a boat crash into HMS Hawke. And this caused a problem, because now his business only had half a fleet. So he couldn't pay the bills. He didn't have the money to repair the Olympic because he was waiting for the big sale of the Titanic to get him the money. So they had to find a way to pay for everything and also get rid of all of his competitors.
Oh, so
Sneaky.
You think... No, right, so what you're telling me is this was an inside job. This is fucking insurance money. This is
now
this is
he's
what
got it.
This is.
Here he is.
Fucking brain
Come on.
Jack. It's sparking.
It's an insurance job. The Titanic never actually sank. It was all rigged, the whole thing, okay? And it was rigged by J.P. Morgan because he had to find a way to pay for the damage that had just been done to the Olympic. And there's loads of bills.
Slimy bastard.
So he swapped the Olympic for its sister ship, the Titanic, and he sank it for the compensation. And nobody would know, because he only had 4 business partners. They were all inside it. You had J. Bruce Ismay, Lord Pirrie, Thomas Andrews, and J.P. Morgan himself. And he even went to the point of laying down the new carpet, over the tile floor of the Olympic, so you couldn't see previous footsteps from the crew that had been on there. He even lowered in the rooms from the Titanic onto the Olympic, so all the staff thought it was new. And in press shoots, they always got photos from the Olympic and not the Titanic.
This is fucking mental.
This is good, isn't it? Right?
This is... I like how he was just like, why don't you get onto my boat? And then sink.
Yeah.
he just was like, yeah, just go and get in a boat. It'll be fine.
Well, we obviously couldn't...
He killed all of his people, all of them.
The conspiracy theory is he killed everyone, right?
So
or
where
they
was he?
all
Why
killed.
wasn't he on the boat?
So he wasn't on the
Tell
boat
me why he wasn't on the boat.
because he
No.
pulled out last minute. And so did all of the other people on the board. I believe
wouldn't want
one of
kids
them,
either.
their wife was ill, and they were seen hiding out in a different part of the world, just very isolated. So they were literally just away from it, right? So they all just left. They all just left and dispersed because, you know, inside job and whatnot. Don't want to be near the crime scene. You
No,
don't
you
want
don't,
to
you
anywhere
don't.
near it.
You don't. You didn't hear my comment earlier, did you?
I didn't.
Good. You could rewatch it and you'll hear it.
The difference is there's very small differences between these ships, though. Okay, and they can be seen in photos.
Oh,
Photos that are real, and they actually exist. On Deck C, they called it C Deck. I called it Deck C. The RMS Olympic had 16 unevenly spaced portholes, whereas on the Titanic, it only had 14 bigger windows, but they were evenly spaced. This is just the front section of the ship, right? Right at the front, where all the cabins are, all at the crew sleep. There was 16 irregularly shaped, regular patterns, and then on the Titanic there was 14 bigger ones, but they were definitely even because it was a newer ship, so they made it look better. When the Titanic was built, it was pictured with these 14 holes. When it left Southampton on its maiden voyage, it had gained 2 windows, and they were a different shape.
Oh my God.
Why would you make the windows smaller when you've already built the boat? You wouldn't.
You're digging a hole, Jack. You're digging this massive hole. It's
a good hole.
It's worrying though.
It's a really.
He's gonna come after you when he finds out
Potentially.
you've found him out. He's gonna knock on your door. He's gonna be like, Jack, let me in.
I think he's dead. This was 1912.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm safe.
So he got away with murder.
He got away with murder.
He got away with murder.
There was also a letter. So there was a guy that works on the ship called Paddy, who worked with somebody who told their dad about what he'd said. He was one of like the chief officing like builders on the Titanic.
Okay.
And he had said to a lot of the members that they'd swapped the boat. He actually made it very, very clear. He was like, they are going to swap these ships about, though. On the Titanic and on the Olympic, on the fins was the name of the ship. They changed all the things that were on the boat to make them say the incorrect name. And then this letter was written. And it said, actually, I want you to read this letter. I want you to read this.
In an accent or something.
You can do it.
Do you want me to
So
read it loudly?
It starts here at the bottom, and it's down to here. Okay.
Right, at the bottom, that one.
Here you go, Lee. Read this extract from a letter.
Do you want me to do it posh?
You can do it posh.
I'm not posh at all, but I'll fucking do it posh. Go on. When the surviving crew got to the port, they were all taken aside and met by 2 men. One in a high position in the company. The other man was in a very high position in the government. The government man read the crew Official Secrets Act, explaining that if they told of the real reason of the sinking or the rumours of an insurance scam, they would serve a minimum of 20 years in jail and would never get a job when they get out. See, that is fucking mad. That is actually crazy.
Not everyone died on the Titanic. The people that survived, that actually worked on the boat, were apparently able to make it ashore. And when they got ashore, there was a government man waiting there for them and another employee of White Star Lines who had said to them, if you tell anyone about this...
Did he have like one of those...
What, the Men in Black
Men in
things?
Black
Yeah, no, not in 1912, but close. And he said if you tell anyone about this,
he would have got away with it.
Families will, suffer. You'll never work again.
So when did they actually spill that they said this?
So this was actually a few years ago, and it didn't make mainstream news. Because apparently it isn't. I think it is. Like, imagine this as a conspiracy theory on BBC News. I'll be like, oh my god.
If this happened now, this would be all over the fucking news.
This would be bigger than Brexit.
This would be bigger than Brexit. Like, this is insurance fraud on a massive level.
We're talking like one of the most famous ships. If this is true, we're talking one of the most famous pieces of fraud potentially ever.
It's not even the ship. We can't call it a Titanic sank because it fucking didn't.
We'll change the name of the film. We'll be like the Olympic. Doesn't sound as good though.
No, it don't. It doesn't sound as good.
It sounds better as the Titanic. It sounds more, devastating.
See, like if you say Leonardo DiCaprio saw Kate Winslet's Tartars on the Olympic, it doesn't sound as good as on the Titanic.
The Titanic, but is that just because we assume the Titanic is obviously grand disaster?
Yeah, that is a point. I agree with you there.
Do you know what I also found out? This was like my last-ditch research to try and prove to you madly that this is potentially true.
Okay.
The Olympic had already been sold, right?
Right.
So because it had crashed, he'd literally gone, scrap it. This is meant to be decommissioned by 1935. So we could just give it off early to this hotel called the White Swan in Alnwick, spelled ALNWICK.
Say that again?
Alnwick. Alnwick.
Sounds like one of those, when you were a kid and it goes,
it sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Alnwick.
Just Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic.
Alnwick. So, on boats they have numbers, right?
Yeah.
And when you build stuff, normally they put in the batch number on the wood, and then that you supply. Yeah. So the company that JP Morgan owned had given the Olympic number 400. It gave the Titanic the number 401 because it was the next boat. Right? Makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
So the White Swan wanted to make a staircase out of the wood on the boat. So what number, if the Titanic sank, would you imagine it would have read?
It probably the 400 one because the Olympic. The one that they got was the Olympic.
So it should have read the number
400.
400,
but it didn't.
The staircase reads
401.
401.
Fucking hell. The Swan got quite a good deal. The White Swan, they got quite a good deal.
The White Swan.
They got the real Titanic.
They've got the real Titanic.
I believe this. This is pure facts. You've just said pure facts. You've just opened a cold case crime investigation.
I mean, they wouldn't have gotten the wood that was old from the Olympic and gone, just put that on the Titanic, it's fine. Because they would have ordered the right amount of wood.
The wood, if you really got it from the Titanic, come on, help me out.
The real Titanic
is deep under sea somewhere, and it would have been waterlogged, and it would have been fucked. Oh my God. That should be done. That's something you should suggest. Someone should go down there.
Go scuba diving.
If you are a scuba diver near the Titanic, right, go down there, look at the piece of wood. If it says 400, we're bringing this to the police. We're going cold casing right now. We're gonna open our own fucking PI company.
PI?
Yeah, private investigation. Right, we're gonna open up not pie, not like fucking hungry. All right, we're gonna open up our own investigational company, and we're gonna take him down. I don't care if he's dead. Right, we're gonna take him down.
Should we find Jack as well?
Yeah,
bring him up.
Yeah, cool.
You died for no reason!
We just left his bones are down there. We're just like dragging him up.
You should have lived! There was space on the door! But that's...
Let me have Kate Winslet.
What?
Anyway. Oh, dear. But this is interesting.
This is my theory.
It's not a theory. I'm sorry to say. You said this is a theory. This is not a theory at all.
There's a lot of evidence that points towards... The Titanic being
facts.
The Olympic.
It's just straight facts.
Are you agreeing with me here?
Yes, I am.
Amazing.
It's as straight as Hugh Hefner. It's so straight. It couldn't be more straight.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, and on that note.
I'm Jack.
I'm Jack as well.
You are so
messed up today.
You have no idea what's going on in the world now, do you? You're going to question everything. You're like, but is it called Big Ben?
No, it's not called Big Ben.
It's not, is it?
It's just called Ben. It's not even that big.
Thank you so much for listening.
Right, thank you for listening to our.
Please don't
theory.
take offence from us.
What do you mean offence? We're so
Don't take offence from the theory, okay?
We're amazing. What are you on about?
I mean, this is mental, but
Yeah, if you believe this theory as well, DM us. Let us know what you think. Like,
if you've got anything to add, if you
Yeah.
found out anything
If you
as
know
also
anything
about the
more,
Titanic,
we'll add it to the case. We're
Yeah.
already writing up a case file. We've got the case files out.
we're
now.
going to submit it to the king.
I think Jack was hoping that I would disagree with him with this theory, but
Sort of, yeah, but you're actually making this really easy.
the thing is, Jack, it's so solid.
I mean, I'm going to try and convince you of something else now. The world's flat.
Okay, I'm not having that.
Oh,
That's a pile of shit. But damn it, I'm not having that.
So close.
All right, well, thank you for our listen.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a little rating as well. Leave a little comment. Come and get involved.
Comment and say that Jack is not cool and he smells. So.
I mean, that was just true. Follow us on Instagram as well at NotSoRealPod, and we will see you next week when we are talking about what?
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Well, we're going to talk about The Last of Us, episode 1 and episode 2.
Episode 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Double bubble.
So this is going to be a reoccurring thing, Jack, isn't it not? Like
we're going to do
series?
1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8 and 9.
Yes, indeed we are.
So see you then.
Bye. Roll the credits.